Over the last few weeks, I've tried to demonstrate to you that creativity begins with an impulse. Those impulses are generated automatically by your brain in response to stimulus. They happen spontaneously, regardless of anything else that you're doing. Spontaneity is the raw material, the fuel for creativity. The spontaneous impulses that your brain generates may or may not be useful to the solution or goal or expression that you're trying to create, but that's fine because there's always another spontaneous impulse right behind it. The person with a good creative process has a really healthy relationship with spontaneity. If you were to try to think of the opposite of spontaneity, what would it be? I would offer that the opposite of spontaneity is control. The person who tries to stay in control has difficulty being spontaneous. The fact is, though, all of us are alive right now because at various times in our lives, we have exercised control. And the most useful mechanism that we have for maintaining control, particularly control of the future, is the word no. So, for example, someone asks you if you want to go skydiving and you say no, thus obviating the possibility of your body splattering all over a field somewhere. Of course, that single syllable simultaneously eliminates the possibility of a positive, life-changing experience. If you've ever taken an improv class, then you've likely been introduced to the power of the word yes. Yes is the tool that you can use to stop trying to control the future, which is what the word no is for. The study of those two words, yes and no, goes deep because there are many variations of yes and no that we use at different times and for different reasons. For our discussions of creativity and impulses, I want to introduce yes and no at the simplest level, which is for you to be aware that at any given moment you have impulses, and because we're also practiced at saying no in a desperate attempt to control the future, we usually shut down those impulses sometimes before we're even aware that we've had them. Having a healthy relationship with spontaneity doesn't necessarily mean that you're a spontaneous person. It doesn't mean that you will drop everything and irresponsibly jet off to Paris if the opportunity presents itself. You might actually be a very cautious person in many aspects of your life, but your creative process needs that spontaneity-driven fuel. That's why it's important to strive to get better at hearing your spontaneous impulses. For a variety of reasons, which we'll discuss later, you may not be used to getting in touch with those impulses. It may have been a while since you've actually been open to and surprised by your senses, and that's where the impulses begin. Here is an exercise that you can do to remind yourself of what it feels like when you're in that space. I'm going to ask Brittany to come back again. She's really going to regret having come to work today. So Brittany, I'm going to turn you into a camera. So obviously this is an exercise that you need someone else for. So it's very simple. You're going to close your eyes and you're just going to have to trust me that I'm not actually going to smash you into anything. And what I'm going to do is find a cool picture for you to see. Now, you've been in this room for a while, so you're a little familiar with it. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to find something really surprising, but still, could you bend down, please, at the knees? Yeah, right. Let's go over to your left a little bit more. Actually, keep your eyes closed and off the couch onto the floor. There we go. Perfect. Now back a little bit. I'm really working this shot. Down a little bit further, to your left a little bit. Okay, open your eyes. Click. That's the photo that I wanted. All right, just remember that for a moment. Stand back up. We're going to do another one. Close your eyes, please. This one won't be as involved or as much of a yoga exercise as the other one is. Bend at the waist, please. And I'm going to put you just right over there. Okay, open your eyes. Click. And we'll do one more. Okay, close your eyes. Mm-hmm. Oh, this will be a nice still life, actually. So again, just squat down right where you are. And I'm going to just do a little design here. I need to make sure you're looking in the right place. When you're moving someone's head, be very gentle. It can be pretty jarring to someone to suddenly have their head snapped around. Okay, open your eyes. Click. That's the last one. Okay, stand up. Okay, so Brittany, first of all, thank you. Did that feel weird?
Felt a little weird.
I mean, besides me shoving you around the room.
Physically felt weird.
When you opened your eyes, were you surprised by what you saw?
I was, and it actually really felt like I was a camera's lens because I know a little bit about photography and I know how you were framing things.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Did you feel like you were just kind of dropped into the situation, or like that you were suddenly seeing something out of context with where you were before?
Yes, and a completely different perspective because I would not have seen those frames had you not placed me exactly in those positions. If I
Okay.
was just like walking around here.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. The point of that exercise is to get you familiar with that part of your brain that has a very immediate interface to the world. The goal of it is to help you experience what those very initial impulses are like, because familiarity with them will make it easier to tune into them in the future. Simply put, you are practicing the process of feeling spontaneous impulses when you do that exercise. If you could stay in that space all the time, you would have a never-ending font of creative raw material. But no one stays there all the time. But you can learn to get there more easily. However, there are some specific obstacles in your way.